So all throughout, we were communicating to the parents, to the teachers, and to the students. The main message was a safe and secure return to campus. Because in this time of pandemic, that's the first thing you have to ensure, your security and survival. Before you can travel to go on a vacation, you have to ensure first, is it a safe and secure place? Before you can go to the mall, you have to ensure, is it a safe and secure place? And therefore, before we can ask the students to come back to the school, we have to check, is the school a safe and secure place? So our main message was, can we guarantee rather a safe and secure return to campus? Let's not forget, we are still in the time of pandemic. But since we want learning to continue, how can we provide an environment conducive to learning, at the same time ensuring a safe and secure environment? So yun ang aking primary messaging. So we have to continue communicating to the parents, no? And to the families, because communicating will help everyone know what we are doing. It always helps to communicate. And then we simulated. You know, I'm not an expert on hybrid HyFlex teaching and learning. I'm not an expert on it. Okay? I think if I were to check the Philippines for experts, there'll be just a few, and they would even say that they are not experts. Because I think to be called an expert, you have to spend around 10,000 hours doing hybrid HyFlex learning, right? But what we did was, we looked at the literature. So I tried to identify the challenges. Una, we did not know much about it, right? What we know is what we read and what we can understand on the literature. But as to how it is done, we don't know. So we had to study. And since I did not know much about it, what I did was I tapped those who know. And I asked the teachers themselves who are familiar with educational technology, with using interactive software, learning materials, and engaging students in learning. So I crafted what is called a task force. Uso naman ng task force, di ba? Task force IATF, task force disiplina, task force tokhang, no? Task force baklas, okay? So I created what is called a hybrid task force. And we had a professional development. In December, we had a simulation. We asked our own teachers to be the students, though some were at home, some were in school, to really do hybrid demonstration. And I asked the task force to lead. So here you will see our classroom. Once again, in our context, we are fortunate to have the materials. Prior to the pandemic, we actually, source Google Chromebooks, and then the pandemic hit and we didn't get to use them, right? So imagine that you invested in infrastructure and you have their pandemic. But what we did was we realized, we can use these Chromebooks, for our classrooms. So we looked at what we have and tried to see what we can purchase given our budget, and tried to see what really do we want in our hybrid learning. So what is hybrid model? This is going to be a quick review. No? It combines face-to-face and online learning with a common platform, which is the virtual world. There's one thing common with the hybrid model or HyFlex model. It's the virtual platform. It is student-directed and multimodal. It is in person or synchronously online or asynchronously online. It lends to student autonomy, flexibility, and seamless engagement. Actually, the HyFlex model, it really champions students' choice, and voice. They take ownership of their learning. Before the pandemic, we would experience typhoons, right? We would experience long cancellation of classes or suspension of classes. So prior to the pandemic, we were already using our Google Classroom. Our students have their own devices, okay, one-to-one device. According to, in my conversations with Jim in the past, sabi ni Jim, kung may cellphone yan, kayang mag-online learning yan. Kung may cellphone yan, and anyone who has a cell phone or device that can connect to the internet, that person can go through online learning. So our students have their own devices, whether it's a laptop, a cell phone, or a tablet. And so after we implemented it, we once again looked at the information before mag-landing, systems check, sabi ng pilot, systems check please. So we looked at our implementation, We looked at the information, and then we had another set of consultations with parents. DepEd said they have to visit after you implement. So we are scheduled. I was just telling management, let's invite Director Andaya, if she's available, to drop by our school and see how we're implementing our hybrid learning. And then once again, another simulation. And all this, we communicate. Face-to-face and hybrid or HyFlex is possible as long as there is a clear, communicated, and shared plan. We get our evidence from what we learn from others and from our own experience. We cannot just say, this is based on our experience. The question is, what did you learn from your experience?